Hi everyone, and welcome to our video on evaluating compositions of trig functions with inverse trig functions. So we have a rule here that can help us. So this goes back with algebra rules. So f of f inverse of x is the same thing as f inverse of f of x, which should equal just x. However, just make sure to check the domain to see if you could actually plug it in. Okay, so don't fall for a trap. All right, so the way that we would find this, so find the exact value of the following. Okay, so remember this here, that's an x coordinate. So and we can even sketch this out. It's going the long way with it. It's an x coordinate. An x coordinate of 5, 6 is somewhere maybe about there. Okay, I don't know what the y coordinate is. We'll just state maybe it's about there. And remember that inverse trig functions give us angles. Okay, so the answer to this is just whatever the angle is. So we don't know what the angle is without a calculator. We're doing this without a calculator, so we don't know what it is. However, again, what this is can be rewritten. If this in the red parentheses is just an angle, so we're saying this is some angle, and then that original cosine's still there. This original cosine is still right here. Then we can use our picture one more time and say, well, there's the angle that's in red, which gives us the x coordinate of 5/6. So it's just kind of going a roundabout and just stating, well, that must be the 5/6. Okay, so in this case, this follows this rule exactly. The cosine and the cosine inverse kind of just cancel each other out. We're left with just that 5/6. Okay, so I would still sketch these out no matter what because they're pretty fast. If you sketch it or don't sketch it, but if you sketch it, you should be able to find any tricks that there might be trying to hide. All right, so for number 2, we have sine of arcsine of radical 13/6. Okay, so this is a y coordinate. And we also know, just like the last problem, this arcsine, that's some angle. So this is still the same thing as sine of some angle equaling something. Well, on this problem, so that y coordinate we just want to make sure is in the right spot. Okay, so where we have a positive y coordinate, remember your sine inverse must be between negative pi over 2 and positive pi over 2. Our cosine, I didn't mark it in the last problem, our cosine must be between 0 and pi, cosine inverse. Okay, anyway, so all of that's there. That's a y coordinate, radical 13/6, that is somewhere in that quadrant 1. Okay, so radical 13, it's a little bigger than 3 but smaller than 4 because we know 2 square roots that we could do that put it in between. Okay, so 3/6 is 1/2, 4/6 is 0.66, so it's somewhere maybe here-ish. Okay, so that's that angle. And I don't know what the x coordinate is, but I do know the y coordinate for this problem based on that angle. And so still kind of like the first problem, it's a roundabout way. So arcsine of radical 13/6 is this angle, but sine of that same angle is that y coordinate. So we do get radical 13/6 for the final answer. So again, it's like the sine and arcsine just kind of cancel each other out. For this scenario, again, you have to be careful though. They're going to try to trick you. So it's not, you might say, oh, I could just do that in a second and be done. Okay, so that doesn't take much longer to sketch it. Number 3, this is where it's going to pay off to know it. Okay, or one other thing to note, back to our original video of inverse, the domain. So the domain of your inverse trig function, so that's, if we know those really well, we can break it down with that. So if we solve our domain, we can instantly tell what this problem would be. However, if we don't know the domain well, that's where the sketch can help. So again, this is a y coordinate. Y coordinate of 8/3 though, 8/3, remember this is our unit circle. Let's mark sine inverse. Sine inverse must be in between here and here. Well, up top there is 0 and 1. That's the biggest y can be. 8/3 is bigger than 1. So that means this is not on the unit circle. Not on unit circle. So that means we can't do this problem. So this part is undefined. This here, all of that I'm bolding in red is undefined. So all of that in the red, that's undefined. So sine of an undefined would stay undefined. Okay, so this time around, you can't cancel and just say, oh yeah, shouldn't it just be 8/3? So that's the trick that they're trying to get you. They're saying, just do that. Do that real quick. Nope, that's not what the answer is. They're trying to trick you. Okay, so it's just an undefined. This is undefined. Okay, so that's doing with our compositions. Let's put a pause on it. We'll see these others in another video. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.